Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Papu and Papi Reading Power Hour. This is Papu.
This is Papi. And that messed up on the dab.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're also joined by in-studio guests Antonia and Danny. But Danny's eating a second pulled pork sandwich.
And Dank loves that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm already done with it. Wow.
He sure is. And Tita is
Doing her stuff.
Something. I don't know. So we didn't record in a while because we had some mishaps happen after the first episode, by the way. Thanks to everybody who actually watched our episode. We appreciate it. Pablo, what do you say about, can you give him a thank you?
Thank you, and also subscribe, hit that bell.
You're like those guys who are just begging for subscribe.
It's not my fault.
You're shaking the table. Antonia's dancing over there. We're going to. We had a little bit of a mishap last week, and we weren't able to record till today. So today we're going to read chapter 2 of what book, Pablo?
I forgot. Tales of the Fourth Grade, I think.
Oh yeah, Tales of the Fourth Grade. Nothing. In the last episode, we found out that what's the main character's name?
I had forgotten because it has been a while since we have recorded.
He's one of the main character. You remember his brother's name at least?
Fudge.
And the other character?
Peter.
Peter. What was the name of the turtle?
I did.
Dribble.
Dribble. Actually, that should be a Pokemon. Dribble.
Okay. Well, we also found out that Peter's dad does what?
Make commercials.
He writes commercials for a company called
Judy. Wait, I forgot.
Juicio. As you could tell, Pablo's being a little extra today. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the book.
Yeah.
All right, Pablo, you got first page. Go ahead. This is chapter 2, Mr. and Mrs. Juicio, by
Judy Blume.
Judy Blume. Go ahead, Pablo.
Okay. One night, my father
A little bit louder, Pablo, for the audience.
One night, my father came home from the office all excited. He told Mr. and Mrs. Yarby were coming to New York. He's the president of Juicio.
He's the what?
President
Of Juicio.
Company. He is in Sergio,
No.
Chicago. I wonder if he brings my father another crate of Juicio. I will. If he did, I will probably be drinking it for the rest of my life. Just think about it was enough to make my stomach hurt. My father said he invited Mr. and Mrs. Yarby to stay with us. My mother wanted to know why they couldn't stay in the hotel. At a hotel, like most people who come to New York. My father said they could be, but he didn't want them to. He thought they be more comfortable staying with us. My mother said that was about sitting the
Silliest?
silliest thing she ever heard.
Very good. So we know that the president of Juicio Company is going to stay where?
In New York,
With who?
Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Yarby.
That's the owners of Juicio, but where are they going to stay at?
With them.
With
Peter.
Peter and his family. Very good. Pablo, you need to pay attention.
Okay.
But she fixed up Fudge's bedroom for our guest. She put fancy sheets and a brand new blanket on a hide-a-bed. That's a sofa that opens up into a bed at night. It's in Fudge's room because that used to be our den. Before he was born, we watched TV in there. And lots of times Grandma slept over on the hide-a-bed. Now we watch TV right in the living room, and Grandma doesn't sleep over very often. My mother moved Fudge's crib into my room. He's going to get a regular bed when he's 3, my mother says. There are a lot of reasons I don't like to sleep in the same room as Fudge. I found out that 2 months ago when my bedroom was being painted. I had to sleep in Fudge's room for 3 nights because the paint smell made me cough. Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. For one thing, he talks in his sleep. And if a person doesn't know any better, a person could get scared. Why do people get scared?
Because Fudge kept talking in his sleep.
Oh. Another thing is that slurping noise he makes. It's true that I like to hear it when I'm awake. When I'm trying to fall asleep, I like things very quiet. When I complained about having to sleep with Fudge, my mother said, "It's just for 2 nights, Peter." "I'll sleep in the living room," I suggested, "on the sofa or even a chair." "No," my mother said, "you will sleep in your bedroom in your own bed." That's that. Pablo?
There was no point in arguing. Mom wasn't going to change her mind. She spent the rest of the day in the kitchen. She's really cooked up a storm. She used so many pots and pans. Fudge didn't have any left to bring together. And that's one of his favorite pastimes, banging pots and pans together. A person who can get an awful headache listening to that racket right after lunch. My mother opened the door up.
No.
Up the door.
No.
Dinner table. We don't have a
separate
dining room. When we have company for dinner, we eat one of.
And you're skipping words, Papa. We eat in one end
of. We eat of one end of. We eat of in one end of the living room. When Mom finished getting the table, she put a silver bowl filled with flowers right in the middle. I said, "Hey, Mom." It looks like you're expecting the president or something.
So, what did Mom take out?
I don't know. Oh, the dinner table.
Very good. Do they have a dining room?
Yes.
No. You know that people were looking at your head because you were reading like this. And that's not cool.
No.
Okay, we're going to change this up because you're like being a little goofy today. I'm going to read one paragraph. You're going to read one paragraph. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very funny, Peter, my mother answered. Sometimes my mother laughs like crazy at my jokes. Other times she pretends not to get them. And then there are times when I know she gets them, but she doesn't like them, seem to like them. This was one of those times, so I decided no more jokes until after dinner.
I went to Jimmy Fargo's for an afternoon. I came home at 4 o'clock. I found my mother standing over the dinner table, mumbling. Fudge was on the floor playing with his father's socks.
With my father's socks.
Blah. I'm not sure why he likes socks so much, but if you give him a few pairs, he will play quickly for an hour.
That's not quickly.
Quietly for an
Oh,
hour.
very good. What does Fudge likes to play with?
With his father's socks.
What do you think about that?
That is disgusting.
Not if they're clean.
Well, if they're dirty, yes.
Oh, maybe. If they're dirty, they might be a little disgusting. I said, "Hi, Mom. I'm home. I'm missing 2 flowers," my mother said. I don't know how she noticed that 2 flowers were missing from her silver bowl, because there were at least a dozen of them left.
Sorry.
But sure enough, when I checked, I saw 2 stems with nothing on them. What is his mom missing?
2 flowers.
2 flowers.
Just like these. Aquí está the subject.
It's your turn to read. I don't know why Pablo thinks so extra today. Go ahead, right here.
Don't look at me, Mom. I said, what would I do with 2 messy flowers? Messy flowers.
Keep reading because you got up to here. Come on.
So we both looked at Fudge. Did you take Mommy's pretty flowers? My mother asked him. No, take, Fudge said. He was chewing on something. What's in your mouth? My mother asked. Fudge didn't answer. Show Mommy. No show, Fudge said.
What do you think is in his mouth?
The flowers.
The flowers.
Wow.
Oh, yes. My mother picked him up and forced his mouth open. She fished out a rose petal. What did you do with Mommy's flowers? She raised her voice. She was really getting upset. Fudge laughed. Tell Mommy. Yum, Fudge said. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, no, my mother cried, rushing to the telephone. She called Dr. Cone. She told him Fudge ate 2 flowers. Dr. Cone must have asked what kind because my mother said roses, I think. But I can't be too sure. One might have been a daisy. Your turn.
There was a long pause while my mother listened. Whatever Dr. Cone had to say. The mom said, thank you, Dr. Cone. She hung up. No more flowers, she told Fudge. You understand?
Right here.
No more, Fudge replied. No
Repeat
more.
it.
Repeat it. No more. No more. No more. My mother gave him a spoonful of
Peppermint
flavored medicine. The kind I take when I have a stomach ache pains. Then she carried Fudge off his carry Fudge to his bath.
Is Fudge already causing trouble?
Yes,
Why?
because there's only one reason.
Why?
He ate his mother's flowers.
How many flowers?
Dos.
Dos.
Oh, not dos. Sorry, just spell right.
All right, my turn. Pay attention. Leave it to my brother to eat flowers, I wondered. I'm sorry. Leave it to my brother to eat flowers. I wonder how they tasted. Maybe they're delicious and I don't know it because I've never tasted one. I thought I decided to find out. I picked off one petal from a pink rose. I put it in my mouth and tried to chew it up. But I couldn't do it. It tasted awful. I spit it out in the garbage. Well, at least now I knew I wasn't missing anything great. Fudge ate his supper in the kitchen before our company arrived. While he was eating, I heard my mother remind him, "Fudgy's going to be a good boy tonight. Very good for Daddy's friends." "Good," Fudge said. "Good boy." Come on.
That's why my mother told him, I changed the
And scrubbed.
scrub up while Fudge finished his supper. It was going to eat with the company began to being nice
No.
has its
Advantages.
advantages.
So where is Peter going to eat?
Probably in the dining room table.
With the little kids or with Fudge or with the adults?
Adults?
Very good. He's going to eat with his mom and his dad and what's the name of the people that own Juicio? Mr. and Mrs. Yarby. Very good. Very good. This is kind of getting intense.
Kind of.
Okay, you got one more paragraph, then I read.
My mother was all dressed up by the time my father got home with the Yarbys. You never have guessed. I so never have.
You never have guessed
That Mom spent most of the day in the kitchen. You also never have guessed that Fudge ate 2 flowers. He was feeling fine. He even smelled nice like a baby powder.
So his mom got all dressed up. Why is his mom dressed up?
For the company, so they look nice.
So they look nice. And the table looks nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Mrs. Yarby picked him up right away. I knew she would. She looked like a grandmother.
Sorry.
The type that always makes a big deal out of Fudge. She walked into the living room cuddling him. Then she sat down on the sofa and bounced Fudge around on her lap.
I'm paying attention.
Isn't he the cutest little boy, Miss Yarby said. I just love babies. She gave him a big kiss on top of his head.
Aww.
I kept waiting for somebody to tell her Fudge was no baby, but no one did. My father carried the Yarby suitcase into Fudge's room. When he came back, he introduced me to our company. This is our older son, Peter, he said to the Yarbys. I'm 9 and in 4th grade, I told him. How do, Peter, Mr. Yarby said. Go ahead, Papa.
Something reminds me of something. Go back. Wait, I can barely see the page. When you read, I'm 9 in the 4th grade, I am 2.
Yeah, that's why we're reading this book.
Yeah, wait, what?
Come on. Pablo?
Sorry. Miss Darby just gave me a nod. She was still busy with Fudge. I have a surprise for you, this dear little boy. She said, it's my mother.
No, sir.
It's in my suitcase?
Uh-huh.
Should I get it? Yes, Fudge shouted. Go get it. Mrs. Grubby laughed as my father was.
No.
And that was the best joke she ever heard. I will be right back, she told Fudge. She put him down and ran off to find the suitcase.
So she brought a surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
To who?
Fudge.
To Fudge. You think Peter's getting a surprise?
No.
Where's the surprise at?
In her suitcase.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Just.
Okay. She came back carrying a present tied up in a red ribbon. Oh, Fudge cried, opening his eyes wide. Goody, he clapped his hands. Mrs. Yarby helped him unwrap his surprise. It was a wind-up train that made a lot of noise. Every time it bumped into something, it turned around and went the other way. Fudge liked it a lot. He likes anything that's noisy. I said, that's a nice train. Mrs. Yarby turned to me. Oh, I have something for you too. Peter, I reminded her. My name is Peter. Yes, well, I'll go get it. Come on.
Sorry. Miss Yarby left the room again. This time she came back with a flat package.
Oh, what do you think's in the package?
Probably a book.
Oh boy.
This time
No.
It was wrapped in two red ribbon.
Read that one over.
It was wrapped up two red ribbon. And on it she had it was
Start over right there.
she
Handed it.
handed it to me. Fudge stopped playing with his train long enough to come over to see what I got. I took off the paper very carefully. In the case my mother wanted to save it, and also to show Miss Robbie that I'm a lot more careful about things. And my brother, I'm not sure she noticed my present turned out to be a big picture of a dictionary. The kind I like when I was about 4 years old. Whoops. My old one in Fudge.
Don't skip a word. My old one?
My old one is in Fudge's bookcase now.
So what did Peter get?
A book.
What kind of book?
A dictionary.
Is it for big kids or little kids?
Big kids.
It is?
Little kids?
It is?
Both?
No.
I did not.
We might have to read this paragraph over.
No!
Well, then tell me. She got him a picture book. Look. My present turned out to be a big picture dictionary, the kind I liked when I was about
4 years old.
So he's how old now?
9.
9. You think he wants that little dictionary?
No.
No, he doesn't.
I'm trying to get it up.
So I'm gonna read now. Behave.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I don't know much about big boys, Ms. Yarby said. So the lady in the store said a nice book would be a good idea. A nice book would have been a good idea, I thought. But a picture dictionary? That's for babies. I've had my own regular dictionary since I was 8. But I knew I had to be polite. So I said thank you very much. It's just what I've always wanted. I'm so glad, Miss Yorby said. She let out a long sigh and sat back to the sofa.
My father offered the Yarbies drink.
A drink.
A drink. Good idea, Mr. Yarby said. What will it be, my father asked. What will it be, Mr. Yarby replied, laughing. What do you think, Heather? Hatcher. It'll be Juicy-O. That's all we ever drink. Good for health.
Good for your health.
Good for your health. Mr. Yarby pointed at his chest.
So what are they going to drink?
Juicy-O.
Oh boy, he said that's all he ever drinks, he and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Juicy-O, imagine that.
That was something in real life.
Mm-hmm. Come on, gotta read a little bit.
Of course, my father said, like he knew it all. Along Juicy-O for everyone. My father told me my mother she went into the kitchen to get it. While my father and Mrs. Yarby,
Mr. Yorby,
Mr. Yarby were discussing. Juicy-O fudge disappeared, just as mother. I didn't get to served. I ran a glass for Mr. Yarby favorite drink. He came back. He was carrying a book. My old worn out a picture dictionary, the same as the one the Yarbys just gave me.
Oh boy, what did Fudge take out?
A dictionary.
The same one that who gave him?
Peter, the Yarbys.
Yeah, do you think the Yarbys are going to be happy? They gave him the same dictionary Peter already had?
Yes.
You think they'll be happy? No, right? I don't think so either. See, Fudge said, climbing up to the Yarby's lap. See, book? I wanted to vanish. I think my mother and father did too. See, book? Now Fudge held it up over his head. I can use another one, I explained. I really can. That one is falling apart. I tried to laugh. It's returnable, Miss Yarby said. It's silly to keep one if you already have one. She sounded insulted, like it was my fault she brought me something I already had. Come on.
My Fudge said he closed the book and hold it tight against the chest. Mine.
No,
his chest. Mine. It's the thought that counts.
Start this one over.
It's the thought that counts, Mister. My mother said it was so nice. You.
Start over the paragraph, Papa. We're going to start over. If you keep skipping words, you're going too fast.
I'm sorry.
Well, I've got all night.
It's the thoughts that count, my mother said. It was so nice of you to think of our boys. Then she turned off to Fudge's. Put the book away now, Fudge.
Fudgy.
Isn't it Fudge's bedroom?
No.
Fudge's bedtime? My mother hidden.
Start it over.
Isn't it Fudge's bedtime? My father, entered. Oh yes, I think it is my mother, said scooping him up. Say goodnight, Fudge. Goodnight, Fudge. My brother said, waving at us. Fudge was supposed to fall asleep before we sat down to dinner. Just in the in case my mother put a million little toys in his crib to keep him busy. I don't know who my mother thought she was fooling because, well, I know that Fudge.
Start over.
Because we all know that Fudge can climb out of his crib any old time he wants to.
All right, Pablo, we're almost there.
How many?
We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pages. And you're yawning a lot.
I know, because I'm tired. But we can still keep on recording. And I promise that.
Pablo's about to get grounded.
No!
He's real close to getting grounded, I think.
No!
He's acting out.
No!
Okay. He stayed away until we were... You need to read right here with me. Pablo, remember Friday night what happened?
Huh?
Remember what happened Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do not want that to happen.
Okay. Let's just read. Okay? He stayed away until we were in the middle of our roast beef. Then he came carrying Dribble's bow. He walked right up to Miss Yarby. He thought she was his new friend. See, he said, holding Dribble under her nose. See, Dribble? Miss Yarby shrieked. Oh, I can't stand reptiles. Get that thing away from me. Fudge looked disappointed, so he showed Dribble to Mr. Yarby. See, he said. Hatcher, Mr. Yarby boomed. Make him get that thing out of here. Your turn.
Oh. Didn't he know?
No.
Oh. I wondered why Mr. Yarby called my father Hatcher. Didn't he know his first name was
Warren.
And I didn't like the way Mr. and Mrs. Yarby both called Dribble a thing.
What's Dribble?
A turtle, not a thing.
It's a what?
Thing. An animal, but it's not a thing.
What kind of animal?
A turtle.
Okay, come on. Let's
And
read this
these are
paragraph.
a thing. They're not animals are not a thing. Things that can't move are a thing.
Come on.
I jumped up. Give him to me, I told Fudge. I took Dribble and his bull was marched into my room. I inspected my turtle all over. He he seemed alright. I didn't want to make a big sense.
Scene.
Ow! 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 Oh, that hurt.
I didn't want to make a big scene.
In front of our company, but I was mad. I mean, really mad. That kid knows he's not allowed to touch my turtle.
All right. I'm gonna allow Antonia to come here real quick while I go put on my glasses, and she's gonna talk to Pablo about this story.
Oh.
So, and then we're gonna finish up. Antonia, come be on the show. Pablo, I want you to behave.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back, everybody. I'm gonna go put on my glasses, my contacts are drying out.
So what do I do?
Just talk. Come on.
Just talk, woman. Or let me go talk. Yeah. And this is my sister, Antonia.
Okay, so what was this chapter about? Sit down.
It's none of your business, woman.
Pablo.
Sorry. And I got a sock.
Pablo. What was this book about?
It's about a kid named Peter that's in 4th grade and he's 9 years old.
So what was the chapter about?
The company.
What about the company? Like, explain the chapter. Pablo, behave.
Okay. Thank you, Antonia.
I was playing the art.
Sorry, everybody.
Our
I had
viewers.
to put on my
her
glasses.
name.
Okay, so we're gonna finish reading this book up. Peter, my father called. Come and finish your dinner. When I got back to the table, I heard Mrs. Yarby say, "It must be interesting to have children. We never had any ourselves." Excuse me. We never had any ourselves. But if we did, Mr. Yarby told my father, we teach them some manners. I'm a firm believer in good old-fashioned manners. Why is he saying that?
Because since their kids are misbehaving.
They're misbehaving?
Like no, they're not misbehaving. Like they're trying to be calm and nice and and nice, but Fudge keeps on not letting that happen.
Oh, okay, very good.
Because little kids could be better. Good.
Yeah. So are we, Howard, my father said in a weak voice. Okay, your turn.
I thought Mr. Yarby had a lot of nerve to hunt. That we had no manners. Didn't I
Pretend.
pretend?
No, say that one again.
To like their dumb old picture dictionary? That's cold.
Stop shaking the table, Papa.
That isn't a good manner. Sorry. Then I don't know what is my mother's excuse herself and cried Fudge. Carried Fudge back to my room. I guess she put him into his crib again. I hope she didn't told him. She told him to keep his hands off of my things. We didn't hear from him again until dessert. Just as my mother was probably pouring the coffee. He ran in wearing my rubber gorilla mask from last Halloween. It's a very weird looking mask. I guess my father.
No.
I guess that why Mrs. Yorby screamed so loud. If she hadn't made so much noise, my mother probably wouldn't have to spill the coffee all over the floor. My father grabbed Fudge and pulled the gorilla's mask off him. That's not funny, Fudge, he said.
Oh man, what did Fudge do now?
He got a gorilla mask. I went where Mr. and Mrs. Yarby was.
And who'd he scare?
Mrs. Yarby.
Oh boy. Funny, Fudge laughed. Funny, 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 Fudgy. Yes, sir, Hatcher, Mr. Yarby said. Good old-fashioned manners. By that time, I'm sure my dad was sorry the Yarbys weren't staying at a hotel. I finally got to bed at 10. Fudge was in his crib slurping away. I thought I'd never fall asleep. But I guess I did. I woke up once when Fudge started babbling. He said, Booba mama waba wishi. Whatever that means. I didn't even get scared. I whispered, shut up. And he did. Your turn.
And that's a tiny one.
Early the next morning, I felt something funny on my arm. At first, I didn't wake up. I just felt this little tickle. I thought it was part of my dream. But then I had this feeling somebody was staring at me, so I opened my eyes.
Oh, Fudge was standing over me and Dribble was crawling around my arm. That's a creepy thing. I guess Fudge couldn't tell I was ready to kill him.
Keep reading.
Because
No.
he bent down, he kissed me
And kissed me.
and kissed me.
Why'd he kiss him?
Because he loves him.
What was Peter about to do?
Kill him.
Yep.
That was what he does when my mother's angry at him. Thinks nobody.
Start over right there.
He thinks nobody can resist him when he's makes himself lovable. So lovable. Aww. And a lot of times it works with my mother, but not with me. I jumped up and put Dribble back into his bowl and smacked Fudge on his backside hard. He hollered.
Ooh, what did Peter do?
Smacked him
Where?
in the backside.
In his booty.
Bah!
Alright, come on.
You got a whooping.
You got to whoop it.
Yeah. Old fashioned whooping.
Pablo,
Okay.
we're almost done.
Mom, my father came running into my room. He was still in his pajamas. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
He whispered, "What's going on here?" I pointed at Fudge. He pointed at me. My father picked my brother and carried him off. Go back to sleep, Peter. He said, it's only 6 o'clock. It's the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
I fell asleep for another hour, then woke up to an awful noise. It was Fudge playing with his new train. It woke up everybody, including the Yarbies. But this time there was nobody they could blame. They were the ones who gave Fudge the train in the first place. Breakfast was a very quiet affair. Nobody had much to say. Mr. Yarby drank 2 glasses of Juicio. Then he told my father that he and Miss Yarby had their suitcase packed. They were leaving for a hotel as soon as breakfast was over. My father said he understood, that the apartment was too small for so many people. My mother didn't say anything. Okay.
When Mr. Yarby went into Fudge's bedroom to pick up his suitcase, his voice boomed, "Hatcher!" My father ran toward the bedroom. My mother and Mrs. Yarby followed him. I followed them. When I got there, we saw Fudge sitting on Yarby's suitcase. He said he had decorated it with about 100 green stamps. Oh, sorry. And
The kind
my mother gets at the supermarket. See, Fudge said. See, pretty. He laughed. Nobody else did. Then he licked the green stamp.
The last
green stamp. And stuck it right into the middle of the suitcase. All gone, Fudge sang, holding up his hand. It took my mother half an hour to peel off her trimming stamps and clean up Yorby's suitcase.
The next week, my father came home from the office and collected all the cans of Juicios in our house. He dumped them into the garbage. My mother felt bad that my father had lost such an important account, but my father told her not to worry. Juicio wasn't selling very well at the stores. Nobody seemed to like the combination of orange, grapefruits, pineapples, pears, and bananas. What happened to his dad?
He got fired?
Sorta. He lost the account.
That's a bad.
Yeah. You know, Dad, I said I only drank Juicio to be polite. I really hated it. You know something funny, Peter? My father said, I thought it was pretty bad myself. So, that's the end of chapter 2. I hope we can get chapter 3 in. Tomorrow is our Promise Center dinner that we have once a year. So, we won't be recording tomorrow.
And I'm so sorry for that, and we'll be recording the next night.
Yeah, hopefully Friday we'll be able to get another chapter in. Our next chapter, chapter 3, is called The Family Dog. What do you think that one's about, Pablo?
When they get when they get a dog.
Oh yeah.
And the funniest thing is that chapter name, we have a dog.
No.
Yes, we do.
Oh.
His name is Marcelo, 4 years old, and has the same height. If you have the same computer as my dad, you close it and stand it up. That's how tall he is, and he's cute. And don't judge.
Well, I'll say this, that this has been kind of an interesting situation. Pablo's been really extra today. And look at that face. That was a scary face. Antonio's over there making signs at everybody. But anyway, join us next time when we get Pablo stop. When we get together and we read the next the next chapter will be a short one because it's only 4 or 5 pages long. But the one after that's going to be another 11-pager.
No!
Hopefully Pablo won't be this tragic. Good night, everybody.
and peace.
Okay. It's